Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this eWorld Business Seminar. I have to start, of course, by thanking our colleagues from F5 for supporting this event. And obviously, thank you all for your attendance. Slightly different audience today. So we've managed to have people we know, people we don't know. So for those of you who are meeting us for the first time, welcome to meeting us with eWorld. We're actually going to say just a bit about eWorld. Won't take too long, but I think for those of you who don't know us or haven't met us before, just indulge us with a couple of minutes about where we've come from and who we're about. So eWorld was an evolution of a spin-off from another company who's still around today, so Intercomp. So I joined Intercomp back in '95 as operations manager, and in 2001 we split up, we spun off from Intercomp to drive the HP-centric company called Systec Limited. So Systec Limited is a tier one HP distributor. And 5 years later, 2006, we set up eWorld initially as a brand and then as a fully fledged limited company to be a customer-focused, customer-centric solution integrator. So we're working today under the eWorld guise. So basically, just to go through that again, so eWorld is a customer-centric solution integrator. What's our DNA? Our DNA, we're actually a privately owned company, great majority shareholding by the Alf Mitzi group of companies. So Alf Mitzi is a 100-year-old family-owned company, third generation, over 100 million euros turnover per annum. What does that give us? It gives us, first of all, the autonomy of operation. So we're very autonomous. We make our own strategic direction, our own investments. At the same time, it gives us the financial backing to invest and to hire or to invest in technology as the needs be. When Nuno comes over with his shopping lists of people or investment, we can do that because we have the backing of a family established company like that. Our staff, we're a team of 30 people, spearheaded by 13 engineers, system engineers, or to be more specific, 9 systems engineers supported by 4 technicians. So that is practically 50% of who we are. We have a team of 4 corporate sales people, many of whom you know, and a logistics team of 4. What are our values? So a bit cliche, but basically our values are definitely to invest, to offer a rock-solid investment, to have a risk-averse approach to IT. What do I mean? We're not here for the opportunistic sell. We're not here for the one-off sell. In fact, these sales cycles, especially the people we're working with today, F5, the sales cycle is actually a long cycle. It's an investment. It's a long-term solution. It's a support-intensive solution. It's an installation services-intensive solution. We're here for the long term. So when we say we have a rock-solid approach, we mean we invest in training, we invest in certification, we invest in partner status. So in most of the companies we deal with, we're at the gold, platinum level of certification. Our engineers have gone through the curriculum of training to be able to match the skills we need to provide in industry. Relationships are also essential, and again, relationships within the company, relationships with our partners. This is part of what we're doing today. This is part of our relationship building, so we really look forward, besides the technical content and the information exchange, to actually meet up, chat, and get to know you better during the coffee breaks and afterwards, in the networking lunch after the seminar. Quite plainly, what our vision is to be your partner of choice. There's only one way to do that, and that's to, first of all, understand what you need. We try to anticipate the market trend, hopefully that's what we're doing today, but also we need to be close to you and get your feedback. So your feedback and chatting to you is as essential as us presenting to you. What it means for you is our commitment to be here today, to be here for the future, and always to be aiming, investing, to be able to serve you better. Okay. I'd like to ask Nuno to come up. Nuno is our Chief Solution Architect, head of the infrastructure team. Many of you know him, some of you don't. So allow him to say a few words about the different strategic focus areas.
Hello, good morning. So my name is Nuno Fernandes. Thank you, Raphael, for the introduction. Just to share with you, many of you, which I don't know, and maybe you don't know eWorld, but some of the areas where we are actually doing and expanding our business would be networking, security, cloud, focusing on application delivery controllers from web portals, from authentication, from 2FA, from web application firewalls, all the way to next generation firewalls that with him as well. Enterprise mobility solutions from next generation Wi-Fi setups. We have a couple of customers, we're doing some POCs, so if you have any of these projects that you'd like to enhance and advance with your company, we'll be more than happy to speak with you. So my team is actually behind there, plus a sales guy in the middle of the team, so he's also ready to take some contacts and interesting projects. But basically the most important is that we are here actually to engage with you, to listen to you, and to work alongside you. So this is a partnership, so we do not treat our customers as a one-touch go. So it's very important that we are able to embrace the projects and grow together with you and understand actually your needs. Like Raphael said, we are here for the long run. And basically, that's it. I hope that you enjoy the show. There is a lot of content that our colleagues from F5 are going to deliver. So any questions that you have, please feel free to engage with us. We will be right on the back, both from a technical and a commercial perspective. Enjoy the show. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Nuno. So wanted to make sure that you get some time with Nuno, the team. On the just run through the quick agenda. So as you can see, I'll be handing over the baton to Maurizio Desiderio from F5 in just a moment. Then over to Paolo, and we have a coffee break at 11:20, and then a Q&A and a networking lunch afterwards. So for those of you who aren't in a desperate hurry and can hang along to have a quick bite and a chat, we more than look forward to welcoming you to stay. The usual courtesy mention for mobile phones, please. So kindly keep that on silent. Apart from that, a very big thank you once again to the F5 team, who I'll be handing on to for making this event possible, both through their technical support, through their planning, through their marketing assistance. A big thank you to Wayne for managing the business development and the whole coordination of the event, and of course to my staff for making this possible. And the biggest thank you is for yourselves, for your attendance and coming here today. Before I hang on, there's going to be a bit of fun introduced by the F5 team. We'll need you to download this app, so I encourage you to download the app now as we speak, because there's going to be various quizzes along the way. There's going to be a couple of quizzes before the break and a couple of quizzes after lunch. Or rather, one quiz before the break, one quiz before lunch. It's going to be worthwhile because there's a lovely prize takeaway. So there's 4 Alexa Echo Dots to be taken away. So we have 4 of those. So hopefully, while we're getting some meaningful feedback from you guys, also a bit of fun, there's going to be real-time feedback to see how the quiz sessions and the feedback, leaderboard and feedback. So adding a bit of fun, a great prize, and most importantly, we need your feedback. So please give it to us. Apart from that, I'm just going to hand over now to Maurizio. We're going to play a little video for you, and then Maurizio will come over and take over the stage. So thank you very much for your attendance. Thank you for your attention.
Is it on? Good morning, everyone. My name is Maurizio. I'm the country manager for F5 in Italy and Malta, of course. I want to thank, obviously, eWorld for organizing such a beautiful event. As you've seen from the agenda, I like this kind of events because we've been able to divide the work equally. He's done 10 minutes, I'm going to do 10 minutes, and Paolo's going to do 2.5 hours. So it's incredible. So the objective of my brief presentation is to help you understand our vision. Most of you probably know F5. F5 is an organization which has been around over 20 years, market leader in application delivery. Recently, 3 weeks ago, we completed an acquisition of NGINX. It's a massive investment for F5. We spent $670 million. So what I'm trying to do today, explain why we've done that, what we're planning to do with this kind of investment. So let me start by just giving you some numbers. As I said, F5 is market leader in application delivery. It's been growing significantly. We've gone over the $2 billion turnover with around 4,500 employees globally. And the first clue that I will give you is, unlike most organizations, we invest 18% of our turnover in R&D. That's a phenomenal amount of money, more than $400 million. One of the things that's made us leader in the market is obviously our support. We are present everywhere. What we do is critical. If F5 stops, your business stops. There's no doubt about that. In fact, if we actually look at the kind of customers that we tend to work with, if we look at the telco, the carrier sector, 5 out of 5 top brand are customers of F5. 10 out of 10 global brands are customers of F5. 49 out of 50 of the world's biggest company are our customers. I can't find which one is the one missing, but we're working on it. And interestingly enough, we're present in any sector because everything, the business that we're in, application delivery, is. So the reason why we made the acquisition, we started from the point that our customers are by far the biggest assets. So we live in a world which is application-centric. Everything that we do see us interacting with devices. Every time we want to consume a service, we use an app, right? There was recently a study by an Italian journalist, very, very popular, and she was claiming that the world of the application within the 2021 would be the third world economy. And that's really interesting. And of course, the cloud is playing a major role in this transition, in this evolution. And the two companies are making, at the moment they share the market is AWS and Azure. We all know that. Although Google and other players are getting very, very aggressive. So if you think about it, historically, if I had an idea, I wanted to start a company, many years ago, I needed to have access to funds. I needed to have money to buy space in a data center, buy licensing, get technical people ready to support the application. This is all changed now. Thanks to the cloud, I can have a brilliant idea, I create my application, I go onto a cloud provider, $10, click of a button, and I'm ready. I'm operational. And if the cost goes up, it's because the application is being used, which is good news, right? Now, the internet, the market of, especially the cloud, is very different from US and EMEA. In EMEA, still, people are moving onto the cloud, and we're trying to understand what they're doing compared to what they do in the United States. But ultimately, all of the organization have started a journey. And I mean, every single company in the world has started a journey towards the cloud, actually, towards the multi-cloud. In every company, there's a strategy where no one wants to work with a single cloud provider because it will mean having to be tied to terms and conditions that you can't move away from. So all companies are facing a journey which will force all of us to have to make decisions. Those decisions are critical. I make the wrong turn, I might get myself in trouble. So in order to be effective, it's very important to have a vision. Now, most of our customers, all the CEOs, have one word they are keen to: risk. This evolution represents a massive risk for the organization. You get it wrong, it's painful. So we're saying that we live in a world which is application-centric. Now, the application has become the engine of our business. Through the application, we generate revenue. We generate profits. And not only that, now the application, as we just explained, that can be sitting anywhere, in many locations. If you think about it, the objective of the cloud is to make things easier, to make your production, your delivery of new services a lot more smoother, quicker. We are competing against a global market now. You know, I can have an application sitting in a co-location, on a different private cloud, public cloud, etc. Now, the big problem is that unless we found a way of automating the management of the application, the cloud will become a problem, will become something that will slow you down. There's another element which I think is very important that people forget. Application is the company responsibility. Identifying the right user uniquely is a company responsibility. Making sure that the traffic from the endpoint and your application is good traffic, it's your responsibility. Protecting your customers' data is your responsibility, not the cloud provider. So, just to help you understand where we're going then, so there was a recent study by IDC. They analyzed how applications have evolved over the years. So historically, we used to have a data center. We built an application, we put it into our data center, we started providing services through that application. In the last few years, there's been what we call a move to the cloud. This is lift and shift. What that means, companies are not applying changes to this application. They're just moving from an environment that they know very well to somewhere in the cloud. But what is emerging, and this is where it is very interesting, all of these applications that are called cloud native. These applications have been built just for the cloud. And more we're seeing companies consuming services through application as a service. So application that sits on the cloud that we don't actually own. And of course, as we said, in a multi-cloud environment. Now, why the acquisition? Let's put some numbers. The growth from last year, 2 years ago, to 2022 of standard application would be very small, 33 million to 44 million. This is where the money is. Exactly for the reason I explained to you earlier on. It's very cheap. There's no business risk. Anyone can build something, deploy, put in production. If I got it wrong, I wasted $500. Big deal. In order to be effective, we were talking about risk, a path. In order to provide the environment that allows you to be flexible, to be agile, to be quick, innovative, you need to have a platform that allows you to manage your application services in a consistent way. We're talking about digital transformation. It's a term that you've obviously heard many, many times. I personally think we'll call it digital revolution. Do you know why? Because it affects people. There are a lot of people who've been working maybe in networking or security who will have to learn a lot of new skills. We'll talk about DevOps, we'll talk about DevSecOps. There are so many new ways of delivering application, building application, which is very different from a traditional approach. So if you go, historically you used to go to an office, you had this sort of appearance of a very tidy, very well-organized environment. This is what you see right now. It's a completely different way of working. People work overnight, they work a shift. It's a completely different change compared to what we used to be. The other phenomenon we were talking about is DevOps. This is one of the main reasons why we built and we acquired NGINX. And of course, security. When you build application in the cloud, you have to make it secure. There's no doubt about that. You get it wrong, you get attacked, it could be fatal for your organization. And one of the things that we'll be trying to understand is, okay, what are we trying to protect ourselves from? That's very, very key. So to sum it all up, why the acquisition? The acquisition, our objective is to create a platform that allows you to build all of those applications. Think about the road, application that we built historically, which they will still be sitting in your data center, or application that we built cloud natively. You don't want to do the same thing a number of times. You want to manage your users, your security policies by using one single platform. So here, the objective is to become the platform for your application services, homogeneously. It's very important. And we'll see with Paolo what it means. Automation is one of the words that we'll be hearing more and more and more. So with that, I hope it helps you understand where we're going. We started, as I said, we invested a lot of money. Part of the stuff that you will see, it's available already. There's a lot of stuff that we are planning to do in the coming years. But interesting, there's not going to be anyone else in the world, as we know right now, who will be able to deliver this kind of platform. Why? We're number one in application delivery historically, and out of all of the companies, the competitors we had, no one is actually invested as we did in the application delivery, in the cloud-native management. With that, I'd like to thank you. I hope you enjoyed the seminar. And the good thing is now we have the intelligent guy speaking, giving you a view of how this money has been spent. Para Kanye.